And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, marketing, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, and our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Pull out your smartphone, save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. Save that number in your phone. That is our consumer advocate hotline. We're going to help you win in any marketplace, no matter what you're facing out there. We want to be that consumer advocate. We're the number one consumer advocate platform in all the Gulf Coast of Florida, from all the way up to the Panhandle, all the way down to Naples, Fort Myers. We're helping you win in any marketplace. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder, if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. We're going to make you more street smart. We're going to help you win. And we have a all-star lineup for you today. It's Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me. Also on the phone, we're expecting a call in from Mayor Rick Baker, former mayor of St. Petersburg, also running for mayor again. St. Petersburg Mayor Rick Baker calling into the show. And in studio with me today, let's go around the horn now, make our introductions. Matt DiMaio, he's the founder of the Maestro method. And welcome in, sir.
Thank you very much, Brandon. Happy August Fool's Day.
Yes, that's right.
I'm going to be talking about exactly what you said in your introduction, how to educate, entertain, and enlighten. I teach people how to learn everything and anything faster and better and be able to retain it.
That's right. Yeah, he's a memory expert. He doesn't like to be called that phrase, though, I don't think, the memory expert, but it just kind of sticks with me after we first met a couple years ago. But it's really cool. A great job at our last party. We have these monthly gratitude parties, and we had an awesome time over at Cox Media Group, the 1025 The Bone Studio. We had the party over there, and I tell you, the crowd was wowed.
Well, thank you. It was a great group of folks, and I'm always happy to be able to come out and do that sort of thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we're going to hear more from Matt DiMaio, as well as back in studio, Stanley Armstrong, everything but the house. He's an estate sales specialist. Welcome in.
Thanks, Brandon. Excited to be here today. And we're going to be educating everybody out there on, number one, how they can buy from our website, and number two, how we can take care and help them sell whatever they have to sell to maximize their profits. Right now on our website, we have a global platform. We sell to over 150 countries, over 1 million active buyers on a monthly basis, and we're going to be talking about how we can help everybody put more money in their pocket.
Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. Everything but the house. And estate sales expert Stanley Armstrong here in studio as well. And we always start off our show with a little personal development. We're going to call that Audible now. So we're going to help you with that Audible. And also, before we do, I want to give a quick shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades, and we're proud to have them as our official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Hotel Zamora. It's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites overlooking the Intracoastal Waterway as well as the Gulf of Mexico. You've got yoga on the mornings, Saturday mornings. If you're a boater like me, you pull your boat up to the boat ramp there and dock your boat and hang out by the pool. And the Castile restaurant on site is amazing as well. Paul James, he's the manager of that, and he's really revamped the menu. It's awesome food, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can go in and enjoy the restaurant lounge, the 360 rooftop. The Hotel Zamora, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, if you do book a room, book a nice little staycation, let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get 10 to 20% off of your room stay just by mentioning the Real Estate Quarterback Show, the REQB code. All right, here we are. We're going to help you with a little Audible here now. So when we talk about motivation, we talk about business, we talk about helping you win. A lot of business owners out there, a lot of real estate agents listen to our show, a lot of managers listen to our show. So we're going to talk about the 6 Ps. Brian Tracy, one of my favorite, he talks about proper prior planning prevents poor performance. So the idea is you want to make a list the night before, the week before, especially if you have a big event, and you're going to set that insight with your subconscious mind. You're going to make sure you're releasing positive energy, and progress is going to energize you throughout your day, and you're going to release endorphins. And there's also a rule called the 10-strobe-90 rule, and it's the first 10% of the time that you spend planning and thinking through the exercise, thinking through what you're going to be going through, is going to save you up to 90% of the time getting the job done. So the action item is make a list the night before, focus on Pareto's principle, and that 20% of the key task that you focus on a daily basis, that's going to help you generate 80% of your success. There's your 2-minute audible from the quarterback here, helping you win in any marketplace. And let's go ahead and jump right into this great content. Matt DiMaio, founder of the Maestro Method. So what are you seeing out there, Matt?
Well, things are really good. We live in a world of information overload, and it is very difficult for people to keep up with all of the new technology and all sorts of things that are going on. School is very good at teaching people what to learn. They're not very good at teaching people how to learn it.
Right.
And so what I specialize in are strategies, techniques, and practical applications on how to be able to absorb information so that you can perform better, so you can produce better. Students can get better grades. Salespeople can have a better bottom line profit.
That's right.
And so those are some of the things I bring to the table here for you today.
Yeah, I like that. And when we first met, I read your first book, and it was very interesting. Because how many times do salespeople do just in general? You're at a networking event, you're meeting somebody, you meet that person, and then about a minute and a half into the conversation, you just think to yourself, what was their name again? I can't remember their name. And I remember one of the key things you said is, number one, you have to care. Number one, you got to care about who you're meeting and have a sincerity about it.
Absolutely. In fact, people talk about the ability to remember names, and it is one of the most important things. And while I'm excellent at it, nobody is perfect. Remember, when you were a quarterback, how many passes would somebody throw that might get intercepted?
Right.
And so it's possible to meet somebody. It happened to me here at the studio this morning. Mm-hmm. I met somebody, and the first name popped out of my head, and I had to come back a moment later and ask, hey, what's your first name again?
Right.
And the fact is that there's really 3 reasons why people forget things in the first place. A lot of people ask me to talk about memory. I like to talk about the 3 causes of forgettery.
I like that.
What causes you to forget things in the first place? The first thing is you don't get it to begin with. Right. If you don't get it, you can't keep it. The second is if you don't care, people have selective memory. Somebody can remember all of the statistics for their favorite team and yet forget their wife's birthday.
Right.
But the third reason is really the biggest, and that is that they don't believe. People have a tendency to say things to themselves like, oh, I can always remember a face, but I can never remember a name.
Right.
Or I must be getting old. Or I must be getting Alzheimer's. Or I'm terrible with remembering people's names. Saying that is not the result of a poor memory. It's actually the cause.
It's the cause. That's a big part of it. So many people are programming their subconscious mind in the wrong direction. I mean, they really are. And you think about, all of those common things you just said. Oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm so bad at remembering this. People, we got to stop doing that, guys and gals out there. You're listening. Reset. Hit the reset button. Let's recharge and think about this. You want to say exactly the opposite. You want to say, hey, I'm great at remembering names. I'm very successful. Your incantations, your affirmations, right?
Absolutely. And here's the problem. You can't go from having a negative self-image to trying to trick yourself and say, okay, now I'm excellent at it.
Right.
A better approach is to give yourself instructions as to what to do. For example, when you meet somebody, subconsciously say to yourself, I am going to remember you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something that'll cause me to help remember you.
Right.
Rather than saying, oh, I'm just wonderful at it, because your subconscious mind will reject that just right out of hand. But if you give yourself instructions, your chances of following those instructions are greatly improved.
That's right. That's right. Matt DiMaio, founder of the Maestro Method here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And Matt, also, one of my favorites I talk about often is Tony Robbins. I've been to his business mastery course taught in Namale, Fiji, all the way back in 2010. And, I watch him and he says, as far as the affirmations, while we're on that topic, right? You can't go chant to the garden, there are no weeds in the garden, right? That doesn't work. But
right.
But there is something to that of positive affirmations to build the the self-awareness and the self, the law of correspondence comes to mind, as within, so without. So that's the idea of that is with these affirmations, you can have certain affirmations that you're going to say on a daily basis that are going to help you over time reinforce that.
If you think about it in a really practical way, if you tell yourself that you can't do something, I am no good at remembering people's names,
right,
then you're not even going to try,
right,
because you're beat before you start.
That's right.
And so it's not just the question of the philosophy of self-talk. It's a question of actually the practical application of giving yourself instructions to run on.
That's right. Absolutely. When we come back, more from Maestro Method founder Matt DiMaio. We're going to bring in Mayor Rick Baker as well of St. Petersburg. And I want to let you know about a hot listing I've got here in Tampa, 10616 Cape Hatteras Drive. The owner is very motivated on this property. We're looking for all offers on this lovely Mediterranean 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath pool home in Tampa. It's 10616 Cape Hatteras Drive. Now, this is a gated community within a gated community on a conservation lot, and it's just reduced down to $381,000. Great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. So stay with us. When we come back, we're going to jump into some more interesting content from our expert contributors. And coming up later in the show, we got the top 10 most dangerous animals in the world. And also a feel-good story of the week is 35 cops finish the treehouse a slain officer was building for his daughter. So stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties, and recently featured in Florida Realtor Magazine for the third time in the July issue of 2017. Again, recognized for our innovations with marketing. We'd love to talk to any sellers out there. If you're thinking about selling real estate, we would offer you a free comparable market analysis and talk to you more about our winning strategies that are going to help you sell your property faster, more efficiently, and for more money. We're also looking for real estate agents that are interested in joining our team due to a plethora of leads that we have flowing through our unique strategies with the marketing. So we want you to save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372. We would love to hear from you at 813-670-7372. And bookmark our website, consumerqb.com, a plethora of information available for you on the newly designed consumerqb.com. Check out our new design. Teo Leonard, shout out to the Web Design Ninja for doing a great job on that website, and Anthony Puglisi as well, keeping it up, putting all of our latest shows on there at consumerqb.com. And we're giving a shout out to Healthy Gourmet, Felicia Lacaille with Healthy Gourmet, all organic meal plans starting at $90 a week, optimal fuel, optimal performance. Healthy Gourmet, longtime friend of the program, organic veggies and natural proteins delivered fresh 3 times a week to your home or office. I love it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, roll around. I've got brand new food delivery, and it's great. It's organic. It's natural foods. I can carry it with me in my vehicle to and from different appointments I'm on, and it's a great way to live a healthy lifestyle. What else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? Healthy Gourmet, meal plan starting at only $90 a week. How much is your health worth it to you? All right, so here we are in studio. We've got Matt DiMaio. We talked with Matt, the Maestro method. Also coming up, Stanley Armstrong, estate sales specialist, everything but the house. We're going to go to the phones now. We've got Mayor Rick Baker on the phone. How you doing, sir?
Brandon, it's great to be with you today.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for calling in, and so you got a campaign. You're in the process of campaigning again, and some familiar ground for you.
It really is. It's we've been very well received in the community. It's been fun to get back out and talk to folks, and I've been here the whole time. I've been working building buildings in Sundial and other things for the city since I left office. But I'm really jazzed about being back on the campaign.
Yeah, Sundial. So what are you hearing out there in the community? What seems to be some of the common recurring themes that you're hearing out there?
Well, obviously, people are very concerned about our sewer system, and with the the Fish and Wildlife issued their report about a week ago that really criticized Rick Kreisman for closing down Albert Wooded plant, taking 25 million gallons offline, and then failing to reopen it after he dumped 30 million gallons in the bay. That's probably the most thing we hear about. There are others, but that's probably the most recurring thing we hear. Why did he do that? How come he still doesn't put it back online? And the ongoing risks and costs to the city.
Yeah, it's challenging when you look at that situation of, and here we are in beautiful Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Clearwater, Tampa Bay, and you look at some of the effects. What are some of the, almost like a business would, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So what do you think are some of the biggest threats that we're facing in terms of that?
Well, when I was in office, we had analyzed it, and we worked with the DEP, and we put $160 million into improving our system, our water and sewer capital system, to tighten up pipes and to make it so it was operating well. In 2007, 6 years after I took office, we were named the best maintained sewer system for the big cities in the state of Florida. And it was really working pretty well. Still, you always have to do more maintenance, but until 2015 when he closed the plant. And the risks to that, of course, are your health, the reputation of your community. You just can't dump 200 million gallons of sewage into the bay and expect to continue on with business as normal.
Yeah, that's a big challenge. A great industry here in Tampa Bay is the fishing industry, the recreation, the tourism as well. And it's challenging. We just had another big storm blow through, and I'm seeing some reports. Have you got wind of any issues of late?
No, but I don't know if we have or not, but it's only been one day of rain. The issue is when you really start getting into the heavy rains over the course of the summer, which we've had the last 2 years, and having taken off one of our 4 sewer plants, so you can't treat it all. So, again, that's an issue. Another issue, a lot of people concerned about the overspending. There's a tendency to spend a lot of money on a lot of things. The pier is over budget by $35 million. The police station is over budget by $35 million. And you know, Brandon, if you spend, it's easy to just throw out those numbers. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And when you're over budget by $35 million, that means you can't build more libraries, you can't build more rec centers, dog parks, playgrounds, the quality of life stuff that people want in a city. When you start spending so freely and irresponsibly, you can't continue to do those things. And so I think what I hear from the community: fix the sewer system, get the budget under control, get the spending under control, get back into Midtown. We've gone backwards in Midtown as we've lost the grocery store and some other things, and kind of get us back in a forward direction. And I hear that a lot everywhere I go.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge when you look at some of the budgetary different things happening in the budget. And, St. Pete, it's really seen a resurgence, and a lot of that was kickstarted back in your times as mayor, and then it's continued on. And, you look at what a vibrant city, downtown St. Pete is and can continue to be. And just in generally speaking as well, when you look at Tampa Bay, a lot of the investment in the infrastructure, the real estate has really been booming lately. Of course, in Tampa, downtown Tampa, Buckhorn is looking to, he's partnered with some major players, Vinnick and the rest of them, to really generate a wellness district downtown. What are some of the key areas that you see for St. Petersburg for the future? What are some of the bright spots that we would be bringing in there?
I think we need to continue the activity that we started back 10, 15 years ago to get the downtown going. We now have one of the coolest downtowns, as you said, in the southeast United States. We want to continue to keep that vibrancy, that activity level going. The Edge District on the western end of downtown is really kicking off. I think we need to support that. And the Warehouse Art District, which all the way on the west side of downtown, it's so cool. St. Pete has become an art city. I brought the Dali Museum into downtown St. Pete. We brought Chihuly. We rebuilt the Mahaffey. We brought a lot of arts and culture into the city, and we've become known as an art city. Now we have a Warehouse Art District on the west side where art is being made. So there are hundreds of artists out there that are created, whether it's glass artists or other type of visual artists. That kind of activity and energy really provides an economic stimulus for the city. We need to continue all that, and we need to get back into Midtown. You can't let the most, economically depressed part of your city go backwards, which we've done over the last 4 years. We got to get back to the point where it was moving forward and people are feeling good about it. And that's all we can do. That we did it before. We can absolutely get it back going and keep the momentum going forward. And that's what I intend to do.
That's right. Yeah, the resiliency of the people can definitely push through that. And if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and we're talking with Mayor Rick Baker here, running for mayor again in St. Petersburg, and got his campaign in full swing here. And, here's something else that's kind of on the topics list here is, building and development in St. Pete has been booming. And I'm dealing with this personally, with Pinellas County and just different things. We're building a house on Lake Tarpon, my fiance and I, and, the challenges with permitting. These are, I bring on a lot of contractors on my show. We talk a lot about real estate, credit, and finance here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And, what are you seeing there? I mean, it seems like there's a lot of complaints about how the city permitting department is being hamstrung. There's different reports about that. What's your insights there?
I hear it constantly everywhere I go that it takes forever to get a permit in the city. That it's often that you can't tell how they're going to rule, when it's going to come, and we're losing projects and people from developing because of it. There's an article in the paper within the last couple of weeks, a major project in the Edge District pulled the plug because the permitting department had taken so long to get the development through that the costs went up and they wound up having to pull the plug on it. So we need to get back into the permit department. I did this once before. I do things like, Brandon, I will meet once a quarter at 7 in the morning with contractors and representatives of the building industry, anybody that wants to come to talk about the building and permitting department. I have the head of permitting to my left and the head of building to my development to my right, and we just receive the issues that they have. We keep track of it. We respond to it, and we work through a process of identifying why it's so slow, why it's so inconsistent, and figure out a way that we can move it forward again. Because we should be wanting to encourage people to do business in the city. Business. That's how we get the economy going. That's how the jobs come from. So we should be doing it. Everybody's got to follow the rules, but the process has got to be such that it encourages and it's helpful to people that want to build in our city. We're not there right now.
That's right. Yeah, so you can at least have some reasonable expectations. Here's what we're going to see, and it's an overall process to where we're going to increase the tax base. It's going to be able to add to the tax base and what the city can provide. And we're coming into our next break here. You want to hang on with us to the other side, or you got to run?
Happy to stay.
Happy to stay. Okay, great. So more from Mayor Rick Baker here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. And we've got an all-star lineup here in studio as well. Matt DiMaio and more from Stanley Armstrong, a state sales specialist here. Giving a quick shout-out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. They do a great job cleaning our properties, and they can help you with yours. So when we come back, we got some awesome content coming up as well, and we have a top 10 later in the show as well. The top 10 most dangerous animals in the world, according to worldlist25.com. And our feel-good story of the week is 35 cops finish the treehouse a slain officer was building for his daughter. Stay with us. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, helping you win in any marketplace, consumer advocate here on the show. And we're giving a shout out to Signature Massage and Facial Spa in Tampa. Are you looking for a place to get a massage or facial at an affordable price without having to sign up for a membership? Look no further at Signature Massage and Facial Spa. They offer a 1-hour Swedish massage for $49.95. Always, no contracts. Come in there early early during the early bird hours and receive an additional $10 off, and you'll receive a professional massage at a great price. For those muscles that have knots and need a little extra work, they got a deep tissue or sports massage option. And if skincare is what you're looking for, they have amazing facial and microderm packages. Check out Signature Massage and Facial Spa, 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, or call 813-935-8898. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. All-star lineup here today, Intelligent Talk Radio, and I've got some intelligent folks here in studio and on the phones. In studio today, we've got Matt DiMaio. He's the founder of the Maestro Method, and also Stanley Armstrong, estate sales specialist, everything but the house. We're going to talk more with those folks. We've got Mayor Baker on the phone, Mayor Rick Baker here on the phone. And you still with us there?
I'm here.
All right, good stuff. So I figure maybe we'll switch it up here a little bit and talk a little bit about the Rays. You know, what's coming the latest? What are you kind of hearing in your circles down there with the Rays, and what do you think is going to happen there with the baseball team?
Well, my plan is, Brandon, years ago in the 90s, I was on the stadium committee of the chamber, and I went door to door getting petitions signed to try to get a baseball team in St. Pete. So that was a great success, and we've invested a lot in it. My effort will be to try to keep them here. So
right.
I like the idea of putting together a plan right at the Trop site for a stadium to move forward with the Rays, and I've already had some conversations with them in the past month, and I intend to continue in the past months, and I intend to continue to have those conversations after I become mayor, and that will be my objective, to try to keep them in St. Pete.
Yeah. So St. Pete, that's a great place for it. I love the indoor stadium. It's so hot during the summer and the rains, and I've seen some of the other plans for an outdoor. I'm like, let's keep it indoor. I don't, it's the same. It's very similar to the Tampa Bay Bucks. I don't want to go to a Bucks game in August. It's September. It's a little bit warm over there, especially if you sit on the wrong side of the stadium.
The downtown has really exploded and come alive since the Rays first moved to the city in the late 90s. And I think that the downtown has grown west all the way up to the Trop site. So I think if you want to be in a vibrant, active, cool downtown, I think you're already there. And if we need to talk about how we put together a plan for a new stadium, I think we do that as well. So that's the discussions we need to have.
Yeah. Also talk a little soccer here. You got the Rowdies downtown, having some really good success in the MLS soccer league. Soccer is a growing sport. What do you see happening in that space?
Well, Brent, I've been, as I've been president of the Edwards Group for the last 5 years, and I led the effort for the MLS expansion. We're continuing to work on that. I think it'd be very exciting if we can convert it. First, right now, it's already exciting. Our attendance has been great at the game. I was there last Saturday night. Very exciting game, big win. But if we could move up to the Major League Soccer, that would be great. And what we're doing is making sure MLS. In fact, Bill Edwards is in Chicago right now, talking at the MLS All-Star games and talking with the MLS officials. So we're continuing that effort to pursue a Major League Soccer franchise. We're in the largest media market in the country that's not already in MLS, and that for any of the cities we're competing with, we have a larger media market. We have a great stadium plan that was just passed by 87% vote in the city. It's a very cool waterfront, open both ways stadium plan. So we're very excited about our possibility. And Major League Soccer, as you know, has absolutely taken off nationwide, and I think we want to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a growing trend, especially a former U.S. football player here myself, and a lot of hits with the head, and you're seeing all these things coming out about concussions. So I see a big trend of young kids going towards soccer, and parents are a little bit more saying, yeah, let's lean that way instead of banging their heads around playing football. But it's still popular as well. But
it really is, Brandon. The MLS, Major League Soccer in America today, now outdraws both the NBA and the NHL in attendance. So it is a booming sport, and it is growing. If you go to places like Portland or Seattle or Kansas City or even Orlando's drawing 24,000 people a game for their MLS soccer franchise they got a couple years ago. So we want to be part of that. We'd love to have the rivalry of St. Pete and Orlando right down the I-4 corridor going back and forth. We think that would be very cool as well. So we're excited about that prospect.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, hey, thanks so much for calling in. We really appreciate the updates and the insights that you bring to us, Mayor Rick Baker. And, parting words of advice or any events coming up you want our listeners to know about?
Well, the one thing I'd like to remind them all is that the absentee ballots actually went out a week ago. So many of them have already gotten their absentee ballots if you live in St. Pete. And if you're not voting by absentee ballot, August 29th is the election. It's a very important election in our city, so hope everybody gets out and votes.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Brandon. Take care.
Take care, Rick.
Bye.
All right, so that's Mayor Rick Baker, former mayor of St. Petersburg, and he's running again. So, he said if you got your ballots out there, get out and vote and extend your right. And speaking of St. Petersburg, I got a hot property I want to let you know about, 215 12th Avenue Northeast in the old Northeast section of St. Petersburg. This is a pre-construction opportunity to design the property the way you want it, with the finishing touches of the wood and the granite, the cabinets, however you want it, at 215 12th Avenue Northeast in St. Petersburg. $1.29 million, a great buying opportunity. This is a SIPS panels home, which is very efficient, and it's got a higher wind rating. Very interesting property. Check it out, 215 12th Avenue Northeast, and let us know if you'd like to see a tour of it or have any more information. We'd love to hear from you. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. You can call or text that line, 813-670-7372. Also, consumerqb.com. Submit your questions, any comments, concerns, anything that you'd like to have us ask the mayors next time we have them on. We plan to do a series with the mayors here on the show. So any questions you have, please submit them at consumerqb.com. And, of course, anything real estate related, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, estate sales. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial wheel, your business wheel, your health wheel. Each spoke is standing out, representing another one of our preferred partners. Over 80 show partners, expert contributors that come on the show, and they want to educate, entertain, enlighten, but we want to engage you. So the way that you can engage is by reaching out. Any questions that you may have, we would love to talk to you about them and just at least refer you to someone that may be able to answer your questions. We've got 5 or 6 different attorneys now associated with the show as well, so any legal questions you have, we can help you with that as well. All right, let's go ahead and bring Stanley Armstrong into the conversation. He's an estate sales specialist with Everything But the House, EBTH. What are you seeing out there, Stanley?
Well, what's really exciting right now is what we've done is we've taken a historically stagnant industry, the estate sale industry, and we've revolutionized it by taking it online. And obviously, you just said it, our website is ebth.com. If people go there, they can see we have buyers right now from over 150 countries, over 1 million bids a month. And we just really want to let everybody out there know that they can be shopping on our website. And I'm not talking about just furniture. I know everybody thinks estate sales, they think furniture, but jewelry is actually our number one seller. So we're selling jewelry, we're selling cars. I mean, the name of the company is Everything But the House, because literally we're selling everything but the house. Crystal, china, sterling, art is doing really well on our site. Now, I want to let you guys know about a promotion that we're doing right now for the month of August. If anybody out there has let's say just a vehicle and it's over $10,000 Blue Book value, we can sell that car for them, and we're taking a reduced commission right now. We're only taking a 10% commission for selling that vehicle. And here's what's cool about that. Right now, we've been averaging about 30% above Kelley Blue Book value for vehicles. Okay, nice. So when you start looking and say, hey, at a reduced commission, that's unheard of. I mean, our standard commission is 40%. So when you're looking at a reduced commission, a 30% reduced with what we're getting for vehicles right now, I don't care. You don't have to have a whole estate to sell. All you got to have is you got a vehicle. It's got to be private party, can't be dealers. But if you got a vehicle that you want to sell, title in hand, it's over $10,000, call the consumer hotline number ASAP so we can get you in. It's got to be done in August.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it reminds me of some of the principles that when people are online and they're bidding against each other, it gets competitive.
It really does. I just had a sale last month for a lady out of Orlando. We did her whole estate. We did her jewelry, we did her men's Rolex that we got about $11,750 for. But she had a Cadillac Escalade. The Blue Book value on it was $7,800. It was actually a 2002, had 25,000 miles on it. And that Blue Book 7,800, the sale closed at $14,050 for that Escalade. And that's just an example of what we're doing all across the board, with all the items that we're selling, which actually we're selling right now over 70,000 unique items on a monthly basis.
Yeah, and when you talk about on the selling side, if you have an issue, someone maybe passed away, you got you're moving, and you want to just kind of declutter, get rid of some of the stuff. There's a lot of reasons why you want to reach out to Stanley Armstrong, estate sales specialist with everything but the house. And here's the other one. You talked about buying online. You can save time and buy online. There's only 20-something weekends till Christmas.
That is true. That is true. And we want people out there buying. I mean, what causes the value of sales to go higher for the seller is the amount of buyers that we have buying, because it's that bidding war. What we do is different than most any other website out there. Is we'll have a close date. It says 5-day live auction that the items run at. But at the end of that close time, we're going to add 5 minutes as long as there's activity on that site. So let's say the auction is set to close at 8 p.m. If somebody bids at 7:59 p.m., then that we're going to add 5 minutes to that, extends the bid. And what that does is that maximizes the price that the seller is going to get, because if we're not going to let an auction close if there's still activity on it. And I can give you example after example, but one of them that we did was a painting that was closing, and it was at $68,300 at the 1 minute prior to the close of the auction. That painting had activity, 3 different people competing for the next 3 hours and 41 minutes past the close time.
Wow.
And took that per painting up to $120,400. And then we've done it with rings, jewelry, in examples. But it's amazing what happens when we're able to let because if there's activity, then we're gonna get the seller the most money possible, because we're not gonna let their item sell if there's still people willing to pay more.
Yeah, that's super cool. So you got advantages on both sides there. You got a lot of buyers looking at it. It's an absolute auction, so anything that goes on the site has to sell. They can't set a reserve, so that's interesting. And you talk about the model. It's a much different model. We'll jump into more of that when we come back as well. And we're going to jump into our top 10. We got the top 10 most dangerous animals in the world. Interesting content there, as well as our feel-good story of the week. 35 cops finished the treehouse a slain officer was building for his daughter. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, helping you win in any marketplace, making you just a bit more street smart out there. And we are happy to be here. We're helping you win. And all-star lineup here, Intelligent Talk Radio. We heard from Mayor Rick Baker, former mayor. He's running again for election earlier in the show. Also, Matt DiMaio. He's the founder of the Maestro Method. And we also have Stanley Armstrong. He's an estate sales specialist. Everything but the house here in studio as well. So, you guys ready for a little friendly competition, little top 10 list?
Let's do it.
Let's do our top 10. How about it? So, let's see. So, we got a top 10 most dangerous animals in the world. And this is according to list25.com. So, Matt, you're up first. Top 10 most dangerous animals in the world.
Well, certainly one of them would be a tiger and lion and.
You get one. You get one guess.
I get one
which
guess.
One are you going with?
Tiger.
Tiger. Sorry, buddy. I'm seeing something similar to a tiger. We're going to give you number 8 on that. Actually, as a leopard. So a big cat.
Wow.
So you got most animals are wounded. They run away and hide. Not leopards. These dangerous creatures are wounded. They become even more dangerous. And so, interesting there.
I'm going to go with a great white shark.
Great white shark, interestingly enough, is not on the list.
Wow.
How can that not be on the list? I don't know. Let's see. Let's finish the list and we'll debate it. All right, Matt, let's see what you got. They're not all big.
Crocodile.
Crocodile, the saltwater crocodile is on the list. That's right. Saltwater crocodile, yeah. So sitting at the top of the food chain, and a saltwater crocodile. So, yeah, good stuff. And then Anthony was saying a shark can't get you everywhere; it can only get you in the water. So maybe that's, he's one-dimensional. That guy,
Well, I know that the granddaddy long-legged is the most poisonous spider, but because he can't bite you, he's not really dangerous.
Yeah.
So let's go with the black widow.
Yeah, well, you're on point. We're going to give you credit for this. You've got the Brazilian wandering spider.
Okay.
And it says the most venomous spider in the world according to Guinness Book of World Records. What makes this critter so dangerous is that he's got its name. How he's got its name, it's a tendency to wander. And they're often found hiding in houses and cars and densely populated areas during daytime. So, yeah, so check the seat. Whenever you get on those swings and stuff, just look underneath it first, shake it off. All right, so let's see, Matt.
Well, I'm going to go with rats. They carry a lot of disease, and if they bite you, you can have some serious troubles.
You would think that was on here. Unfortunately, rats did not make the list. One more guess, Anthony, and we'll read it, or Stanley, and we'll read it off.
All right, let's go with the grizzly bear.
The grizzly bear. Again, you would think that one was on the list. It is not. Berlin, you want to read the 10 to 1 for us? Number 10 is the
Komodo dragon. And then this is, I don't know how to say it.
Number 9 is tsetse fly? Tsetse fly?
Tsetse fly? Tsetse fly.
Tsetse fly.
Okay, leopard, carpet viper, Brazilian wandering spider.
Number 5 is right there.
Oh, number 5, blue-ringed octopus. Dang it, I knew that. Hippopotamus, saltwater crocodile, African elephant, and mosquito.
Number 1 is mosquito, moving from one of the largest animals in the world to now we come to the smallest. As though it's small, it's also the deadliest. It has been estimated that mosquitoes transmit disease to almost 700 million people annually, resulting in 2 to 3 million deaths per year.
Wow.
Would you know it? Would you know it? And of course, the mainstream media makes some of the stuff sound a little bit more crazy than it is. You see those documentaries about that. All right, so there's your top 10 most dangerous animals in the world. Now we're going to make you feel good here with a feel-good story.
Tell me something good.
All right, 35 cops finished the treehouse a slain officer was building for his daughter.
To honor a fallen police officer, 35 cops and state troopers got together to finish construction of a very special project. Retired and active officers from the New York State Police, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and the Watertown City Police joined together to finish building the treehouse that Officer Joel Davis had been building for his youngest daughter, Jyla. Officer Davis, 36, was shot when he responded to a domestic violence call and never got to finish the project. In less than a day, the officers put the finishing touches on Jayla's fort, completing features like a ladder, window, a string of lights, and a balcony. Thanks to his fellow boys in blue, Davis's daughter will always have the memory of undying friendship and love to warm her life in the coming years.
All right. Pretty cool, huh? What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's cool.
You like that one? All right. There's your feel-good story of the week. And let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round. We're going to jump into the lightning round now.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
All right.
I majored in lightning rounds.
Top tips, things to do, things to avoid, nuggets of advice, parting words of advice. Matt, you're up first.
Well, what are you asking me?
Oh, just any kind of parting words of advice, anything fun. It doesn't matter.
Well, my grandmother gave me 2 great words of advice. If you want to be able to learn anything and everything faster and better, 2 great words.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Have you ever met people that are so broke they can't even pay attention?
Yes, and that's why they're broke in the first place.
Indeed. So one of the problems that I solve, a lot of times people will ask if I just help students. And with school getting ready to start very shortly, I actually have some free gifts. One of them is a video on how to absorb textbooks like a sponge.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, your daughter just did something that when we were at the party, I taught her real quick on one of the breaks how to recite the alphabet backwards.
Yeah.
And that's one of the little videos that I'm giving away as well. But for all the business people that are listening, one of the biggest problems that they have is the constant turnover when they're trying to train people, whether it's salesmen or front office staff or any new employees. You know, it's a constant turnover. They're training and they don't have a real system.
Right.
And so one of the videos that I'm giving away is training that sticks. How to absorb. It's a 4-part system. When you use this system, you don't have the constant turn and burn. You don't have the turnover and burnout of new employees coming through the door.
Where do we find the video?
So I will give this away. All you need to do is email me. Okay. Just use the subject line info and send it to learneverythingfaster@gmail.com. learneverythingfaster@gmail.com. You type in info in the subject line, and instantly in your inbox, you'll get an email from me with 3 videos, my gift to you.
Very cool. Thanks for offering that to our listening audience. And Stanley Armstrong, top tips, things to do, things to avoid.
I just want to say right now, obviously we're coming out towards the end of the year. You already said buy on our site, but there's lots of people that are going to be snowbirds, are going to be coming back down to Florida. There's people that are decluttering, people that are moving right now on getting out of their houses from wherever they're coming from or leaving here. And we just want to say, hey, make sure you call us first. Before you get rid of anything, before you do any donations, before you say, hey, I'm gonna try to sell stuff on my own, give us a call because be prepared. We'll come in there. We'll use our expert ability. I'll come in there. I'll do a free consultation. I'll look at what you got, and we'll determine what the best solution for you is, whether it's us or whether it's somebody else. But give us the chance. And don't rack your brain thinking about it for yourself, but let us just come in there and do it. Take all the stress off of you, and so we can maximize your profits.
That's right. Yeah, it's a free consultation, initial meeting. He's going to go through and at least let you know what the value is of some of your items. I think it's important to note they've got a 4 or 5 gemologists on staff. Any artwork that you have, they can let you know what the value is of that as well. So Stanley Armstrong, everything but the house. He's an estate sales specialist here in Tampa Bay, and he can help you with any of the estate sales that you might need as well. And I want to say thanks to Matt DiMaio as well. Great content as always, Matt. I love the grandmas. The keywords was the pay attention, right? Okay. So yeah, so awesome, man. Great stuff. And I want to thank all of our expert contributors as well as Mayor Rick Baker for calling into the show, and all of our listeners out there. Thank you very much as well for tuning in, listening, maybe watching our TV show on WeBeam TV or streaming live from our website as well, consumerqb.com. Anything that you heard on the show today, we would love to hear from you. Shoot us a call or a text message, 813-670-7372. And if you text the word estate sales, I put you right in touch touch with Stanley at 813-670-7372. And if you text memory, we can get you in touch with Matt DiMaio as well at 813-670-REQB. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have, handing it to that person that you see in need on the side of the road, and be a force for good in the community. Do something positive every day. Do something kind for someone else. Maybe buy a serviceman or woman lunch or dinner, breakfast, police officer, and be kind to one another out there, and drive safe. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.